Hello friends, and welcome to my final video of 2020 and the final day of 2020. So I thought it would be a lot of fun for the last video of 2020 to show you the artwork I've completed over the course of the year. Now, part of the reason why I wanted to do this is because some of this art has been here on YouTube, but most of it has been showcased only on Instagram. So I thought it would be fun to show you guys what I worked on this year and the pieces that I completed. Let's get started. Okay, so the first piece that I completed in 2020 was on January 4th, and it was this. It's a little red cap mushroom, and I created it because I needed a logo. It's been about 3 years since I really started to try to turn my art career into a business, and I really needed a logo, so I made one. Little red cap mushroom. Why? Because I can't help myself, and I love red cap mushrooms. So, very cute, and it was done in watercolor and a little bit of pencil. So the second piece that I created the second piece that I finished in 2020 was one that I actually started in like the beginning of 2019. And I worked on it throughout 2019, but I actually finished it at the end of January of 2020. So it's this little piece right here. It is a little forest fairy. I really like her because she kind of pushed me a little bit. This is when I was kind of still discovering my style and exactly how I wanted to paint things. I always painted things kind of more on the cartoonish side. Not a huge fan of super cartoony things, but I also don't like super realistic things either. So I think she's a very nice balance between the two. I was also experimenting with a little bit of a warmer color palette, and I was also experimenting with new painting techniques. So I really, really like the way how she came out. So she's very cute. And I call this one Forest Dweller. At the beginning of 2020, I was very optimistic and I started quite a few things. But then the entire world just kind of imploded on itself. We all pretty much know what happened in March, so. Didn't really start painting again until about April-ish time frame. Anyway, so in May is when I actually completed my next piece. I started it in January, but I completed it in May, and that was this little guy. And I actually made him into an acrylic painting time lapse. So if you want to see that, I'll link it up in the cards for you. Yeah, he was a lot of fun to paint. It started off as just like a red cap mushroom, and then I eventually was just like, you know what, that's a little boring. Let's add like a little mousey in there. And then it came, well, maybe the mousey could be underneath the mushroom. And then I got the idea that, oh, why is he underneath the mushroom? Because it's raining. So this is definitely one of my favorite pieces of 2020, and I really love this piece because it really pushed me a lot in terms of techniques, and I think I leveled up a lot with him. So yay. I actually do have a companion piece to this that I started around the same time, but that one's taken me a lot longer to complete. So my goal is to have that one done by the end of 2020. Maybe not varnished, but at least done. This next one is kind of something fun to do, so I decided to do Baby Yoda! So I'm a huge fan of The Mandalorian. As of right now, I have not watched season 2 yet because I want to be able to binge it. So please no spoilers in the comment section for that. And yes, I know his name is the child and Grogu, I think is his name now, Grogu. I don't know, I haven't watched Mandalorian season 2 yet, but he's so cute. I did it for Star Wars Day because I wanted to challenge myself to finish something quickly, which is something I do not do. But yeah, he turned out really cute, and I gave him little blushing cheeks and everything. Just something fun, and had to add my little touch of whimsy to it, as I like to do with all of my pieces. So this next piece came about because I was pretty much obsessing about Treebeard from Lord of the Rings, and I just really wanted to draw an old man or a tree with an old man's face. So that is what I did. I call this the Elder, And it's done on graphite with toned paper. And I'm actually quite surprised at the amount of illustrations I did in 2020 because I normally don't illustrate that much. It's usually all paintings. So, but yeah, I had gotten a new mechanical pencil and I really wanted to like test it out, and it came with graphite in it as like the default. So I was just like, I'll just try it with graphite. I forgot how much graphite smudges because I haven't used it in forever. But now I have new lead that you'll actually see a little bit later. I have to say the mechanical pencil I use for this is really nice, and it's by Pentel. Yeah, so pretty much obsessed with Treebird. The summertime was a really stressful time for me. This was like kind of like my art therapy. I just wanted something fun and easy to paint, and I ended up painting this. So I call this one Luminous, and it's basically a bunch of tiny mushrooms on like this moss covered branch. And I have to say, I definitely really like this piece and how it came out. I didn't actually use golden for this piece. This piece was actually done with a brand called Chocola. They had contacted me and asked me if I wanted to try out their products. I was like, sure. And I ended up making a time lapse out of it. So if you want to go watch that, I'll link it up in the cards. But yeah, this one was just really good art therapy just because it was just so simple and easy to do. And it was like, I didn't have to think about anything while doing it because it's moss, which I paint all the time, and it's mushrooms, which I also paint all the time. So, all right. So this next one came about because there was this trend going around on Instagram about a Sailor Moon redraw. And one of my friends tagged me, and it was just like, I would love to see your version of Sailor Moon. So I was like, okay. So I ended up painting Sailor Moon. I do really like this piece. However, I accidentally painted her eyes are not even. So one eye is higher than the other. And like her face is kind of meh. But you know what? I actually had quite a bit of fun painting her because it was just another kind of mindless art project that I could work on. I had a lot of fun doing it. The background, I definitely had a blast with doing it. Is it like the best piece I've ever created? No. But did I have fun doing it? Absolutely. So, and my friends really liked it. So, yeah. So she's not terrible. I did end up fixing her eye in Photoshop though. The next piece is actually something I started like way back in 2017. And it looked completely different. So it was this right here. It was a little Luna Moth study that I was doing. When I started working on this piece, like I had the background like be really bright, and I didn't like it. So I just kind of threw it off to the side. And then I got like the urge to work on it again in like July, I want to say. Yeah, like June, July timeframe. I changed everything about it. I changed the branch. I changed her body, her wings. Well, no, her wings didn't change that much. But yeah, this was just something that was another fun and easy thing to do. And I had already started it and I really wanted to finish it. So I will say that I was quite sad because this little piece right here was my favorite highlight on her wings, and I had to cover it up because Luna Moths have these little spots on their wings, and I had to cover it up with that little spot, and that made me really sad. But I tried to make it as small as possible. She came out so cute and fuzzy. And I like to call this one delicate because, you know, moths are very delicate. I definitely want to paint more Luna Moths in the future. So she's very cute. Pieces I actually finished on the same day, which is something I also never do. I was really surprised when this happened. But this came about because I'm a very big Inuyasha fan. It was like one of the first animes I watched when I was younger, and I was like in high school when it came out. So when I heard about the sequel coming out, Yashahime, I just like got all nostalgic, and I just rewatched every single episode of Inuyasha, and then I got the urge to draw them. So I did Inuyasha right here. He is done on just a piece of, God, what was it? It was like a watercolor paper that I had laying around. It's a Fabriano hot press watercolor paper, which actually not so great for watercolor, but it's great for drawing. And I used some red mechanical pencil lead. I'll put that down in the description below. But I did a grave mistake with this, and I did not put his beads of subjugation on. I totally forgot about them. But yeah, that was a oopsie on my part. And I also did Shishomaru, because you can't have Inuyasha without Shishomaru. And I did him in a blue colored pencil because every time I think of Shishomaru, I always think of blue for some reason. Maybe because it's very cold and he's a little cold, you know? So I finished these two on the same day. And I have to say, I'm really happy with them. Eventually, I'm going to do the entire cast. So that's something I'm very much looking forward to because the pencil lead that I used, so I used this pencil lead. It's called Nano Dai Colors, and it's a Japanese brand. This is the color that I use for Inuyasha, and then this is the color I use for Shishomaru. And one of the cool things about this, so it came with like a bunch of other colors. So it came with like a purple and a pink, a teal, and it also came with like a green and orange, and basically all the colors like match the main cast of Inuyasha. So I'm just gonna do like a whole series of like illustrations of each of the different characters with their corresponding colors. So like Moroku will be purple, Sango will be pink, and Kagome green, that kind of thing. We'll see if I draw Kikyo. So the next piece, it was kind of like an idea that I was floating around. Last December, I finished this little purple dragon. I called her my dream dragon. So I thought it would be really cool to do a companion piece to this one and like make it like the nightmare dragon. So that's what I did. And this little guy right here. Someone did get Maleficent vibes from this, but that's not exactly what I was going for. I was actually trying to stay the opposite away, but you know what? I'm okay with it. It's fine. Yeah, so these two, they're supposed to be like one protects the dreams, one brings the nightmares type deal. So they're like opposites of each other. But yeah, I'm like really happy with the way how he came out. The scales were a huge pain in the ass to paint. The next piece is something that I wanted to draw for kind of to celebrate fall because I absolutely love fall, and I was living in the South. Summer is very, very hot and humid, so I'm always happy when fall comes. So I decided to draw this little autumn fairy. So she's sitting on a mushroom because I can't resist, you know, drawing or painting mushrooms. And then she has little wings inspired by maple leaves. And then I actually tipped her wings in gold. I like a lot of movement in my pieces, so I always do kind of like these little, I don't know what to call them. I guess you could call them like magic. I don't know. But I tend to do this a lot in my pieces. I like a lot of movement. So I added these little dots back here that are also different metallic colors. So there's like a copper, a gold, a yellow, that kind of thing. But yeah, I really like the way she came out. It's very cute. I did a lot of illustrations this year. So every year for October, I like to create kind of spooky art in celebration of Halloween, because Halloween, basically from August to December, is my absolute favorite time of year because there's Halloween and Christmas, and I love celebrating all of it. So for October, I created some spooky art, and this was the first spooky piece that I created. It is a barn owl with like kind of its head twisted to the side because I think it's kind of creepy. Like I think when owls twist their heads, it's really creepy, but I didn't want them to be like super like over the top, like right in your face creepy. I wanted it to be kind of sort of mysterious creepy. However, with this piece, I couldn't push my values very much. So something I really like to do is make really deep shadows to like really make all the highlights pop. And for some reason with ink, I can never push my shadows. And I don't know if it's because of the type of ink that I'm using or my lack of experience with ink. My guess is probably my lack of experience with ink. I only really use it in October for like a couple of pieces because, you know, ink just goes so well with like spooky art. So I couldn't push the values as much as I wanted. So I actually put it into Photoshop and I edited it to enhance the shadows a bit. However, one big major change that I did do is I extended the tree because I realized how short it was and I needed more. And I needed more of the tree to fill it out. And I really didn't feel like drawing it. So I literally just kind of copy and pasted and extended everything out. Other than, you know, not being able to push the values, I really like this piece. It's really spooky and it was a lot of fun to paint. I tried to make a time lapse out of this, but I ended up accidentally deleting some of the footage. So I was so mad because it was like turning into a really good video. Oh well. And one of the last pieces that I did for Halloween actually ended up being a time lapse was these spooky mushrooms. I really wanted to draw some spooky mushrooms, so I literally Googled spooky mushrooms, and these types of mushrooms called inky caps came up. And the moment I saw them, I like fell in love, and they reminded me of Tim Burton. I'm a huge Tim Burton fan, and every Halloween I watch Sleepy Hollow like at least 20 times. I found these and I was like, oh, they're so Burton-esque, and I have to paint them, or I have to draw them. So this is a Copic marker illustration with a little bit of ink, and I used some acrylic paint for the spider webs. But I do have a time lapse of this if you'd like to go check that out. This was a lot of fun to draw. One of the last things I wanted to show you is every year for Christmas I do a hand-painted holiday ornament collection, and I usually do between 15 to 20 pieces. This year I did about 17 pieces, so not bad. I paint little portraits on tiny little pieces of wood. This is one I haven't shown yet, but I do a different theme every year. Last year I did a bunch of fan art ones because I was going to a con to sell them. This year I did a lot of like mythical creatures. I did a dragon. I did some gnomes because I love gnomes, and they're one of my favorite things in the world. But yeah, and I always kind of do like something fun and whimsical and just things that remind me of Christmas, or like fun little things. So like I'll do like little mushroom houses with like lights and stuff on them, or I'll do like, this is a little fairy door, hobbit door. Yeah, these are a lot of fun, and I always enjoy making these and coming up with like different ideas and stuff. So that's everything I finished in 2020. I started a lot of projects in 2020. There's also a bunch left over from like 2019 that hopefully I can get done next year. You know, even though 2020 has been like a giant dumpster fire, one of the things that I'm very grateful for in 2020 was the fact that I was able to kind of rediscover my creativity. It's something that I have been struggling with over the last few years, just life circumstances, but now for like the first time in like basically like 4 years, I finally feel like that 2021 is a clean slate for me. I'm going in with, I want to say, optimism. I don't want to be like 2021 is going to be my year, because a lot of people said that in 2020 and look what happened. So I'm going in cautiously optimistic. I do have a lot of plans for this channel in 2021. I'm bringing more time lapses. I'm also going to be doing some standalone art supplies review videos. Of course, more art showdowns. I have a bunch planned for 2021. I'm also planning on sprinkling in some art history videos, which I'm very, very excited for. And one thing I also want to kind of start doing every month is I want to do a monthly vlog. So it'll either I vlog for a whole day, or I'll vlog a bunch of days and like combine them together. Thought it would be kind of a fun way for, one, you guys get to see what I'm up to and what videos are coming out, but two, so you can get to know me a little bit better. Also, I want to say a big thank you to everybody who subscribed to my channel this year. Hit over 8,000 subscribers, so woohoo. Made me very, very excited. And not only did I hit 1,000 subscribers, but I also monetized on YouTube, which was a goal of mine. So I'm very, very happy for that. I'm very grateful for everybody who's subscribed, so thank you very, very much. I hope to keep growing in 2021 and bringing you lots of fun content. That's my plan. Cautiously optimistic for 2021. We're not going to say excited, and I'm not going to be like 2021 is going to be my year, because, well, 2020, like, let's not jinx it. I have seen this meme going around. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, you'll understand it. But like, I've seen this meme going around, and I'm just like, we don't need that kind of negativity out in the world right now. Could we not do that, please? Please, let's just not. Of course, if you would like to continue following me on this art journey, then feel free to subscribe, and you can hit the bell icon so you never miss an upload, especially since I don't have an upload schedule. And feel free to follow me on Instagram. I'll be posting lots of works in progress on there, little daily snippets of my life, things that might make it into the vlogs, some things that might not make it into the vlogs. Thank you guys so much for watching. You made my 2020 amazing, so thank you for that. I'm incredibly grateful. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next year. Bye!